Yeah, so apparently when you eat a fruit, you're eating like the junk of the fruit.
Yeah. That's why they call them nuts and berries.
Ba-dum-bum.
Hi, welcome to BeerFork. I'm Melanie, and sorry we've been missing you, but we're back for a special Leap Day episode. We have our first vertical to show you, and we have picked out a special limited edition beer by Boulevard Brewing. We recently had another beer by them that was really amazing. It was, what was it? The what? Oh yeah, that's right. They're Aztec chocolate. Sorry. It was absolutely amazing. I wish we had picked up a few of them, and we're smart enough to do what we're doing with this beer here, and that is keep it and save some for later. So let me tell you a little bit about this particular beer. It is their Bourbon Barrel Quad, and it has been aged in bourbon barrels with cherries. And on the back, it says, based loosely on the Smokestack Series 6th Glass, this Abbey-style ale quadruple, after fermentation on cherries, was separated into a number of oak bourbon barrels, where it is aged for varying lengths of time, in some cases as long as a year. Selected barrels were then blended with freshly brewed ale for optimum flavor. The result retains only very subtle cherry characteristics, with toffee and vanilla notes coming to the fore. So I am pretty excited about this. On the front, it does tell you the percentage. So it's 16% of the fresher ale and then 84% of the aged, and they all have it. But the interesting thing about this series is on the back, they actually give you a best buy date, which is pretty cool because a lot of beers, like, they'll tell you if it's good to sell or not, but maybe not when they think it's going to really hit its peak in terms of flavor. And from what I've been reading, Boulevard is actually quite good at picking just the right time for you to drink it. Now, R3, we have one that's a little bit too old. We should have drank it, let me double check it, back in August of 2015. So obviously we've passed that. That's this one here. This one is for July 2016. So we are coming up on its date. And then this is the freshest of the bottle. This one, you know, they say the best time to drink it is actually September 2017. We're going to be drinking it much fresher. And from what I've read is that all three are really going to be pretty good regardless of age, and it really just depends on what exactly you're looking for in terms of flavor when it comes to these beers. So we're going to take a minute to get these open, and we'll be right back. All right, quick note. So two different things going on here. So first of all, these are obviously aged. This was originally bottled in 2013, 2014, and 2015. So they're already aged, and there are quite a few books out there that you can pick up that will talk about aging of beers and which ones would be good to hold on to and which ones maybe not so much. Belgian quads with higher alcohol volumes usually do really well. The other thing is a lot of people like to collect the same beer that ages well year by year, and hence that's what you call your vertical. You're stacking your years up. We know a few people who have verticals for 6-7 years, and they're just waiting to see when they might open them. Which again is one of the reasons I like this series, is because they at least give you an idea of when your peak age is going to be. So let's get into the good stuff. All right. So that is our 2013. We kind of set that one over here. that is our 2014. And last but not least, our 2015. All right, excellent. So just from the general looks of them, they all appear to be about the same in terms of look. One of the things that you may not be able to see is this one didn't have as much of a head and it dissipated pretty quickly. This one's right in the middle in terms of how thick the head is, in terms of how small the bubbles. This one has definitely got the creamiest head going on. So that's the only huge difference I see. You know, in terms of looking at the color, the older ones are, this one is a little bit more transparent and lighter in color. These two are a little bit more similar, but you can tell this one is ever so slightly darker. So in terms of overall appearance, not a huge change between the years, but it is there. It's just very subtle. I am actually going to smell these, I think, going freshest, or rather I should say youngest to oldest. All right. That smells good. I'm a big fan of the Belgian quadruple. I think it's a fantastic style of beer because it kind of combines a lot of nice things. Like there's a little bit of malt, a little bit of yeast, a little bit of fruit. It's kind of a little bit of everything in really kind of a well-balanced way. Because I get all sorts of lovely smells. I get clove, I get banana, I get bread. It's just really very pleasant, like kind of like a bakery on a tropical beach. Really smells wonderful. I know these were aged with cherries, but I don't get a whole lot of cherry out of this one. All right, middle one. Definitely a different aroma, more malty. And actually getting more of the bourbon barrel out of this one than I am out of the fresher one. And maybe the hint of the cherry. I've lost a little bit of the banana and the clove. Still smells excellent. All right, and now for the oldest one. This one I'm liking the aroma probably the least. Definitely I'm getting more of the bourbon out of it and more of the cherry, and I've lost pretty much any and all clove and banana and breadiness out of that one. So I don't know, this one is kind of like the least appealing to me in terms of aroma. It smells good, but it doesn't smell like, you know, amazing and dynamic like our fresher one does. Let's see what they taste like. This is the tough part, you got. That's pretty divine. I think I like the way it smells better than the way it tastes. I lose some of the flavors that I was looking for, that I got all of out of the aroma. Still an excellent quad, but I'm not feeling it as much as I had hoped. It smelled so good. I really, the flavors aren't quite as pronounced as I wanted them to be. I would like to make one note that I definitely can tell you. This is, let me see here, I think it's 11.8%. There's no alcohol flavor on this. It is mostly kind of malty, bready right now. I'm wondering if it might change even as it warms up. And a tiny hint of banana. Again, no cherry, no real bourbon or anything like that. All right, back to our middle one. And this one again was the one that had much more of the cherry that I was picking up and much more of the bourbon. And this is also the one that's closest to its best by date. This one actually tastes the way it smells. Much more of like the bourbon, much more of the cherry. It's like, I got a little bit of tart right in the back. I was like, oh, there it is. That's good. I like that. That is really enjoyable. I don't feel like I get as many of like the quad flavors. I feel like they do get a little bit overpowered just a hair by that cherry, because there's definitely a twang and it keeps talking to you too, even after you're done sipping. It's like, woo! I don't know. That's all I got for that one. And then finally our last one that is the oldest. See if I can clear out some of that tartness there. This one is very mellow. Very mellow. I pretty much get mostly the bourbon barrel with like a very mild quad underneath. The cherry is there, but it almost has more of a, it feels more like a cherry liqueur. Like, I can feel it in my mouth and I taste it, but it's not got the tartness that this one has. And like I said, this one didn't really say anything to me in terms of the bourbon barrel or the cherry. And I'm gonna do one more thing. We're gonna pause it again, and I'm gonna get some other taste testers in here to get some second opinions. And then I'll come back and tell you what the verdict was. Okay, so our taste test is up. I like to do that occasionally when I am not 100% sure that what I'm tasting is accurate. But the consensus is pretty much the same, is that this is just a fantastic quad right out the gate. This one, if you like sour tart cherries, this is the way to go. And then this one is the most mellow of the bunch and has the strongest bourbon barrel flavors. And that's pretty much how we divided it out. I liked this one, a couple of us liked this one, and then one of us also liked this one. We were across the board. So it was pretty amazing in terms of a taste test. So really, how you want your flavors to evolve have a lot to do with what you would like. If you like the fresh quads just as they are with nice dynamic rich flavors, drink this beer fresh. If you are a fan of sours, you like that little bit of tart, let it sit for a few years and definitely go by their recommended age range, because that is exactly what you're gonna get. You're gonna get, you know, a lovely quad with that bourbon, but the big feature note is that sour cherry at the end. And then if you're like me and you like bourbon barrel beers, but you know, very mellowed out, very, very drinkable, let it get a little past its prime. It's still good. Anyhow, thank you guys for watching BeerFork, and we will be seeing you again next week, March 7th, I believe. See you later. Thanks for watching BeerFork. I'm Melanie, and if you're loving what you're watching, we would love for you to hit that subscribe button. If you've got something to say, like or comment below. If you want to see us on other platforms, we're also on Untapped, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all with a little something different. And if you want to watch more right now, we have our previous episodes and random episodes just for you.